Picture this, a legendary music icon, fresh off a high-profile trial, boldly requesting to serve his time in a specific federal prison. That's the shocking reality unfolding with Sean Diddy Combs, who wants to do his hard time at FCI Fort Dix. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a savvy move for rehabilitation, or just the celebrity pulling strings to avoid the worst of incarceration? Let's dive into the details and explore why this choice is sparking so much debate. Diddy, the hip-hop mogul whose real name is Sean Combs, has expressed a clear preference for where he'd like to complete the rest of his 50-month prison sentence. According to sources, his legal team, led by attorney Tenny Garagos, submitted a formal letter to Judge RHONJ on Monday. This letter, obtained by TMZ, urges the court to recommend to the Bureau of Prisons, BOP, that Diddy be transferred to the low-security federal correctional institution in New Jersey, known as FCI Fort Dix. Why Fort Dix? Diddy's lawyers argue it's the ideal spot for him to tackle his personal challenges and focus on recovery. Specifically, they highlight that the facility offers programs to help with drug abuse issues, which could be crucial for someone like Diddy, given his history. Plus, it allows for better family visitation opportunities and supports rehabilitative efforts. Think counseling, education, and work programs designed to help inmates rebuild their lives. For beginners wondering about federal prisons, low-security ones like Fort Dix are often less restrictive than high-security facilities, with more freedoms, like communal living and fewer lockdowns, making them a step up from places like the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, where Diddy has been held for over a year. And this is the part most people miss. Safety concerns are a big factor here. Tenny's father, the seasoned attorney Mark Garagos, who has represented Diddy for years, recently discussed on the Two Angry Men podcast that Diddy could face serious threats no matter where he goes. In fact, during his sentencing hearing on Friday, Diddy's defense team revealed that someone had already attempted to attack him with a shank while he was in jail. This raises eyebrows. Is Fort Dix safer for a high-profile inmate like Diddy, or could his fame make him a target even in a lower security setting? Fort Dix isn't just any prison. It's gained notoriety for housing other celebrities who've served time there. Take the Giudice family from the reality show Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa and Joe Giudice both did stints at Fort Dix. Teresa, for example, was there for about a year on fraud charges. And she later shared how the experience included community service and family visits, which helped her transition back to life outside. It's a relatable example for those unfamiliar with the system, showing how such facilities can provide a structured environment for rehabilitation rather than just punishment. Of course, the judge has the power to make a recommendation. It doesn't have to be Fort Dix, but the final decision rests with the Bureau of Prisons. They'll weigh factors like security needs, available space, and inmate classification. Diddy has already spent more than a year at MDC Brooklyn, a pretrial detention center, and he's looking at over 2 more years in federal custody. It will be fascinating to see if the BOP honors his lawyers' request or opts for a different location altogether. As a quirky aside, we looked into the Fort Dix commissary, the prison store where inmates can buy essentials. Items like herbal oil and prayer oil are on the shelves, but surprisingly, baby oil isn't available. However, baby powder is, which might come in handy for personal care in a place where comforts are limited. Stay tuned for updates on this developing story. But let's talk controversy. Some might argue that allowing a wealthy celebrity to pick a preferred prison undermines the fairness of the justice system, potentially giving advantages not available to everyday inmates. Others could see it as a smart way to ensure better rehabilitation and reduce recidivism. What do you think? Should high-profile figures like Diddy have a say in their prison assignment? Or is this just another example of privilege in the legal world? Do you believe Fort Dix is truly the best environment for addressing drug issues and family ties? Or could it expose him to new risks? Share your opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take.